Today I'm going to show you how to make a really cool, long-burning, waterproof and windproof match. Perfect for lighting barbecues or a campfire. You could make them out of these standard shorter matches, but I'm going to use these longer ones. We're going to start by taking some cotton wool, tearing off a piece, and wrapping it around the match like this. Cotton wool lights up very quickly and easily, so it's a good material to use as a base. Next I'm taking some petroleum jelly. This is oil-based and it burns really well. Then I'm smearing it over the cotton wool up and down the match, so it's really wiped into the wool. Next I'm taking some kitchen roll, tearing off a piece, and wrapping it around the match to cover the cotton wool so it looks like this. To make this waterproof, we're going to coat it in wax. If you've got any wax from the end of a candle, you could melt it down. This yellow piece is from a Lego-style figure candle, which I made in a previous video. And if you haven't got any used candles, you can just take a new tea light candle, remove it from the metal tray, and push out the wick to leave a block of solid wax. I melted this down in a pan on a low heat. Then removed it and left it to cool for a few minutes. Then I took my match and dipped it into the wax. You can see the paper's absorbing it nicely. I dropped the whole thing in and left it to coat for a few minutes. Because I knew the wax was cool enough, I removed it with my fingers and shaped it a little while I could still mould it. Then I sat it on some foil to set. If the wax in your pan has also started to set, you can easily reheat it on your stove. I made mine liquid again and coated another 4 matches. Rather than getting your fingers waxy, you may prefer to lift them out with a fork. And I left them all to set. If you like, you can make them out of standard shorter matches. I did the same thing. Wrapped around some cotton wool, coated it in Vaseline, wrapped it in some paper, and coated it in wax. I actually made 4. I lifted it out and left it to set alongside the other ones. You can see if you lift them out with your fingers, you do end up getting pretty well covered in wax. It comes off easily enough, but it is pretty messy. As they cool down, you can shape them and make them a bit neater. And finally, we're going to take some nail polish. And I'm going to use it to cover the head of the match to make it properly waterproof. I just painted some on the tip, like this, and left it to dry. I did the same with all the matches, even the short ones. Once they're dry, they should be fully waterproof, so I chucked a few into this water to test them out. I left them to sit for a good 10 minutes and really submersed them. Then I took one out, dried it off with some paper, and tried to light it. It lit up straight away with a good strong flame. I quickly extinguished it, then took another to try it outside. You can see it lit up really well. As the wax around the match melts, we expose more of the potassium chlorate, the match head, which ignites and produces another fast reaction. You can see the wax dripping off as it melts. And after a few seconds, we start to burn the cotton wool and petroleum jelly. It's now going to be pretty difficult to blow this out. And you can see if I shake it, it doesn't want to extinguish. I can actually be really fierce with it and it won't go out. Pretty cool, huh? And we do get some really cool smoke trails. However vigorously I shake it, I cannot extinguish the flame. So I tried to blow it out. And even that took 3 attempts. So it can withstand sitting in water for long periods. It's windproof and it's long burning, so it's absolutely ideal for taking camping to light a campfire. I lit up another one, left it to burn for a few seconds, then dropped it into the middle of this wood pile. It stays alight for a long time and makes a really great fire starter. You can keep them all together in a box, but make sure you don't get the box wet because you'll need the strip to light them unless you're using Strike Anywhere matches. If you struggle to light one, you may need to scrape off the waterproofing varnish and wax off the head. Then try again. And if you want to make one that burns for even longer, you can use a whole cotton wool ball instead of half. And I used even more Vaseline than before, which acts as the slow-burning fuel. I wiped lots all over, wrapped it in paper, and coated it in wax again. Once it had set, even though it was sealed with the wax, I still coated the tip with nail varnish. You could also make an in-between size to go with the smaller one and the larger one. I wanted to see how long my modified matches would burn compared to an ordinary one. So I tested a standard one, and it lasted a total of 21 seconds before being blown out. Next up, I'm testing one of my slimmer matches, and I'm putting it up against the big one I just made. I lit them both up, and if we put them against the clock, we can see the difference. They both burned really well, and they're surviving the blowing wind. But the thinner one burnt out after 4 minutes and 43 seconds. And because of the extra petroleum jelly and cotton wool on the larger one, it lasted a total of 9 minutes and 49 seconds. That's pretty crazy, huh? I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you want to see more, you can click on the links or take a look at my YouTube channel page. Stay safe, have fun, and as always, thanks for watching.